Hey everyone, James Niggemeyer here. Thank you for tuning back into the YouTube channel. Today I'd like to talk about how I rig the Yamamoto Flappin Hog. Because I'm a tournament fisherman, I tend to nerd out on getting the exact right hook and even selecting the size that enables me to maximize the number of bites, to maximize the number of hooked fish, and increase that hook to land ratio. I pretty much look at all that under a microscope and try to find out what's the best way for me to increase my odds, because every bite matters when you're tournament fishing. You never know when you're going to get the next bite, and so really come out with a setup that I think really serves me well. And so I wanted to share it with you guys. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider doing that. It's probably one of the better ways to help grow the channel, and I would certainly appreciate it. So the Yamamoto Flappin Hog, just a tremendous creature, beaver style bait that works really well for fishing in and around cover. And I think at first glance, a lot of people say, well, you know, it's kind of a crawfishy bait, but I really think it does a great job of imitating bluegill as well, and just the overall appendages and different things like that. It's got a great look, has a nice fall as it glides to the bottom. And really, what can you say about beaver type baits like this Yamamoto Flappin Hog? They just produce results. So whenever I'm flipping and pitching a Yamamoto Flappin Hog, it's usually a flippin type rod, and so I choose a rod that's like a Phoenix 7.7 extra heavy, and it's their Feather Series rod, 20-pound test gamma fluorocarbon, a Bass Pro Shops Johnny Morris Platinum Signature Series reel with an 8:3:1 gear ratio, 20-pound test gamma fluorocarbon, and then the business end of all of it is usually a 5/16 to 3/8 ounce size tungsten bullet weight. I definitely like to peg it, and the hook that I like to use is a Owner Jungle flipping hook, 3/0 size. And why the 3/0 size? You might think that's a little bit of a smaller hook, but when I like to flip and pitch a Flappin Hog, I like the smaller of the two. They have a 3-inch size, and then I think it's a 4-inch size. I personally like the smaller of the two because they really are very similar. And when you raise it up like that, basically they've extended the body. And what I want is, sometimes when you have a bigger bait, fish just take the back end and they miss the hook. So I think in general, a smaller bait, a fish is going to take the whole bait or have a greater percentage of fish taking the whole bait. So with that, I'm going to use the smaller of the two. And so it has a short body segment, and that's what I'm going to try to put the hook in. So I need a smaller hook, but I don't want a smaller hook with a lighter wire. I want a serious hook, and that's why I choose the Owner Jungle flipping hook. And then I'm going to just Texas rig it like you would anything else. Once you get it to this point, there's just a little bit of you know, kind of the body at the back end of this. So you just kind of get that point set in there, and then I just bury it to the point where the barb is inside the plastic like that. So you don't need a whole lot, you know, you don't really need to just shove it all the way through, because one of the wonderful things about the Yamamoto plastic is it is super soft. So as long as I get it to the point where the barb is inside the plastic, the hook's not going to back out. It's going to be a little bit more durable as far as flipping and pitching into cover and different things like that. And that's my setup. I feel like when I pitch this around shallow targets where fish might be there, you know, chasing bluegill up in the shallows, eating crawfish, around grass clumps, around laydowns, just whatever type of cover, docks, anything like that, it's got all the right properties as its bigger brother, but it's a more compact size. So I'm going to catch small ones and I'm going to catch big ones, and it goes in and just gets in and out of that cover. But the main thing is I'm maximizing the number of bites that I get, and hooking and landing goes up because I've got a hook that's just the exact right size as the body. I like to peg the weight, but I like to give it a little bit of room so that the weight can move just a hair bit like that. And I feel like that doesn't make, if you run the peg right up on it, kind of makes the whole presentation a little bit more rigid. So give it a little bit of play, and so when you're shaking it and hopping it, the weight can be right in front of the bait, and then it gives this bait more movement as well as you're working it through the water. So That's my setup for the Yamamoto Flappin Hog, why I like the smaller one instead of the bigger one. Don't get me wrong, I do fish the bigger one also, but more times than not, I'm gonna fish the smaller one. I feel like it's the perfect size, and again, I'm gonna maximize the number of fish that I catch with a hook that fits it perfectly. It's a great rod, great setup. It's really, I think, dialed in. I have scrutinized everything from rod, reel, line, to the hook and weight combination. I feel like this is a phenomenal setup for hooking and landing more fish in and around cover. Hope you guys got something out of this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and drop a comment down below. Let me know if you guys like this hooks type setup. I know some guys would rather go for, say, an offset wide gap, and I get that too. But this is something that's really worked well for me under a number of situations and in different states and in different conditions as well. Make sure you check out the description section. There I'll have links to my merch, Team Niggemeyer Fishing, my website, my Instagram, Facebook, as well as a discount code to Amphibia Eye Gear. Floating, ANSI rated sunglasses that protect your eyes. Until next time, thanks for watching and good fishing.